Dear students, in the previous video, you have seen that what is the importance of bugs and consequences of bugs. As I told you, it's very important to identify the seriousness of the bugs. Let us see the taxonomy of bugs. This is very important topic. In the examination point of view also, it is important. And even for software testing, for your career, this information is very important. How to detect, how to categorize, how to identify, how to estimate the importance of bugs. But still, there is no universal correct way of categorizing the bugs. The taxonomy is not rigid. But based on some information, we can categorize the bugs. A given bug can be put into one or another category, depends upon the history and the programmer's mindset. That bug you can be treated in different way. The category I may be considered it in a different way. So it depends upon the mindset of the programmer. The major categories are requirements. There are 6 major categories are there. The first one is requirement, features and functionality bugs. The second category is structural bugs. The third category is data bugs. The fourth category is coding bugs. The fifth is interface integration and system bugs. The sixth one is test and test design bugs. Let us in detail discuss one by one what is the category of bugs. The first type or category is requirements, features and functionality. The name itself indicates that whenever you gather the requirements, that is the first initial phase of the software development cycle. If the requirement specifications are incomplete, if there is any ambiguity, there is no clarity, maybe a self-contradictory. So this kind of things leads to bugs because the analyst may gather the requirements. He may be giving the analysis about the requirements and specification, what kind of features and functionalities to be implemented in that software. But as a programmer, I may misunderstand that statement of requirements or feature. I may be implemented in a different way. Because of this, it leads to bugs. The specifications don't have flaws in them, may change while the design is in progress. The features are added, modified and deleted. This is also because of specifications. Requirements, especially, sometimes it may be expressed in the form of a specification. So that is the major cause of the expensive bugs. We cannot directly convert or treat the requirements as specifications. Depends upon the customer requirements. The specifications of that system or that software need to be configured as per the recent system specifications or configurations. The range is from a few percentage to more than 50%, depending upon the application and environment. What kind of programming environment you are choosing or you have chosen for the software development, but what kind of environment the customer is expecting. If that is not coincident or if there is a lot of difference between that expectation, then it leads to bugs that will become expensive bugs. The earliest to invade the system and the last to leave. So that is the major problem for this category of bugs. The requirements and these features and the functionality specifications are defined the early stage of the software development, that is during software analysis, but that will be developed and tested almost all about to completion of the system. So that is the reason these kind of category or bugs will be there from the starting to the ending of the system development or software development. The second is like feature bugs. In the same requirements, the first category, that is feature bugs. What kind of things can be considered under feature bugs? Specification problems usually create corresponding feature problems. That a feature can be a wrong, it can be misunderstood, it can be implemented in a different way, the wrong way. So that can be treated as a feature bug. Removing the features might complicate the software, it consumes more resources, and further it leads to more bugs. Feature interaction bugs, the another type in the same category one, that may be like it's providing correct, clear, implementable, testable feature specification is not enough. Then what kind of things are required for this feature interaction? This feature interaction comes in groups or related features. The problem is unpredictable interactions between feature groups or even between individual features. For example, your telephone is provided a call holding option and another option call forwarding. But these interactions, two features, these are two different features, may have bugs, then it may affect the two features call holding and call forwarding. Every application has its peculiar set of features. Yes, if it is a web application, little bit peculiar from the mobile application. If you consider the same software, it may be provided in two different forms. One is in web application, the another one is mobile application. Then even though it is the same software, some peculiar set of features are applicable for the web application and some features are peculiar for the mobile application. Let us see what is this specification bugs, because we have come across with requirements and specification bugs. The second is feature bugs. Third is feature interaction. Then let us see specification and feature bug remedies. Most feature bugs are rooted in human to human communication problems. That is because of the specification language or system. Coming to the specification and feature bug remedies, most feature bugs are rooted in human to human communication problems. One solution is to use high level formal specification languages or systems, because what kind of communication language used, what kind of programming language used, these two are very important. There will be like short-term support and long-term support. The specification languages facilitate formalization of requirements and inconsistency and ambiguity analysis. So what kind of language you are using to give that particular software specification is very, very important. Assume that coming to this long-term support, we have a great specification language that can be used to create unambiguous complete set specification with unambiguous complete tests and consistent test criteria. So that's why IEEE, there is a standard format is given for these specifications, which we generally call it as a SRS document. Already you have come across in your software engineering course. Software requirements specification. So the IEEE is a standard format. Most of the software organizations use that format because to avoid these kind of unambiguities. It will have number of sections and properly the system analyst who analyze, who gather the requirements and specification and features, they will be providing that uniform document to all the programmers to avoid the majority of the bugs, to avoid miscommunication, to avoid misunderstanding and ambiguity. Testing techniques for functional bugs. Most functional test techniques, that is, those techniques which are based on a behavioral description of software, such as transaction flow testing, syntax testing, domain testing, logic testing, and state testing, are useful in testing functional bugs. So these are the testing techniques, that is transaction flow, path testing, logical, state testing, functional testing, that will be in later sections. We will be discussing in detail about these various testing things for the bugs, testing techniques for the bugs. So already you have come across about unit testing, component testing, integration testing, system testing, and other two are like white box testing, black box testing. But apart from this, now you have come across little bit more testing techniques like flow testing, syntax testing, domain testing, path testing, logic testing. So all these various testing techniques will be discussed in detail in the entire this course, software testing methodologies. Thank you.